This podcast is part of the Podcast Your Scene Network. Visit us at www.podcastyourscene.com.
You know, the local media has an agenda that they're going to serve. I don't know who's in charge of it or what it is, if it's like a headless monster.
Why? This is a question.
Walking backwards. Something sacred.
I don't know the names of the Creep songs. Those are
Running in
CDs you
circles.
Just pop in and let play.
Sea of Glass.
The flight and the fall.
I love Ozzy. I think he's the true definition of a rock star.
So came out by your speakers.
Anybody else have any interesting stories they don't want time to tell?
This is Doug from After the Fall.
Hey, this is John Lane from the thriving metropolis of Leechburg, Pennsylvania.
The Pennsylvania Rock Show, featuring the best unsigned rock that Pennsylvania has to offer. What's the story this week? Am I fucking your woman? I'm fucked up, I'm
Let's go.
What's up, everyone? It is Bill, and you're tuned to the Pennsylvania Rock Show. That's number 673. You can find us at parockshow.com, megarockradio.net, and 107.1 FM KFGD in St. Louis, Missouri, on the beaches of San Diego, California, on roodroораdio.com, in the Highlands of Scotland, at xrpradio.co.uk, on the other side of the state on oldiesxl.com. Music from the 412, which we're live on video currently. This, as I mentioned, is episode number 673. With me tonight are the gentlemen from Lone Crow Rebellion. What's up, guys?
Not much, Bill. How are you?
I'm good. I'm not 100% sure that I got all the stations in.
That's all right.
I didn't. We're also on buildthescene.com/radio. My own station. So before we get real far into this, can you guys just introduce yourselves real quick and tell us what part you have in the band?
Sure. Greg Long, guitar, vocal, songwriter.
Pete Horn, bass player.
I'm John Semenka, the keyboard player.
Jason Sopic, drums.
All right, so we're going to jump right into probably the easiest question I'm going to ask all night, maybe. Where did the band name Lone Crow Rebellion come from?
Out of the blue. It just appeared one day. We didn't know what else to call it. Do you have anything to comment, Pete? Because I really can't.
Well, I remember that you had made some statement about seeing some of these crows, out there alone on the tree, and then you said, they're sort of out there on their own, doing their own thing.
Lone Crow Rebellion. That's it. You're walking through a park. There's one bird just announcing to the world you're there. That's our Lone Crow Rebellion.
So I'm going to get some questions out of the way early. First of all, have any of you ever actually listened to the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to surprise any of you then. Maybe.
Maybe.
So I'm going to start off with the pizza question. If you listened recently, that's one I've been asking a lot. That is, what is the best pizza you've had because you're a musician? So you have to find a way to link it to your band.
Oh, best pizza I've had because I'm a musician. You mean like brand or type of toppings?
Like you were out at a show and on the way home you got a pizza, or on your way to a show, or you were recording and you got a pizza in the studio, or
how about at a show?
Okay.
I was pretty happy with that one at Gerbil's the other night.
Oh,
to be
yeah.
honest with you. That was a good pizza.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they didn't call it pizza, but the intention was there. It's still same ingredients, but it was a pizza. How about you? Got anything?
No, I really don't.
John?
No, I guess I did. I mean, it's same place. I had pizza at Churchill's opening for Davey Knowles.
Yeah,
and it was good.
It was
stuff.
very good stuff.
It was good stuff.
How about you?
I'd say Mabel's in Clearfield. Anytime we practiced or played a gig after the gig.
Mabel's is good. I got stories about Mabel's. We'll have to talk later.
Yeah.
John, you got anything? John doesn't like pizza.
Yeah.
I love pizza, but
Yeah.
I usually don't eat much when we play out. Only after. If you had hot dogs, we should usually eat a lot of Sheetz hot dogs.
John likes a hot dog pizza. That's all he can tell you.
So I do Sheetz after I go and take photos, not before.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Probably why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I very rarely eat before I go on stage. So,
I get that answer a lot.
yeah.
So, the other one I want to get out of the way right off the bat is, it's become the official Build a Scene question. It's who's your Dave Grohl? In other words, who do you want to go up on stage with and perform one of their originals?
Okay, so you added to that question because we actually had an answer to that earlier. And the answer was, these are the guys we like to go up on stage with.
Yeah.
But if we have to add somebody else and play one of their originals, you got anybody? Who would it be?
If he was alive, it'd be Levon Helm from the band.
There you go. That's a good one. How about you?
For me, it would be, of course, they don't exist anymore because of the loss of Neil Peart, but being able to play with Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson, that would have been a highlight for me.
John?
I'd like to be up there with Stevie Ray Vaughan.
I have to go with John.
That's
Stevie Ray.
I like to just watch him play from behind like Reese Winans did.
Yeah. That would be a good one. Stevie Ray.
So my segues are terrible. I've only been doing this for 18 years, 19 years. But if you could sit down with any songwriter in the history of the world and write a song with them, who would you want to sit down with?
I'm going to go back to Jason. Jason, who would you want to sit down with?
That's a tough one, man. There's so many. John Hyatt would be one of them.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
How about you, Pete?
Just because of how interesting his lyrics are. Maynard from Tool.
That would be interesting. That'd be a good time. How about you?
I was thinking about Ray Charles.
Ray Charles. Oh, that's interesting. That's
Just
interesting.
like his piano.
Me, I got too many to pick from. But I'll tell you somebody who I really like that's really off of our, well, not too far off of our abilities. But I like Ruthie Foster. I just love the way she writes lyrics. Just deep and earthy and bluesy. So that would be my pick. If I had a chance to sit down with Ruthie Foster, that's who I'd write with.
I usually ask a DeLorean question before these two questions. If you could sit down for a dinner table with any four people in the history of the world, with the caveat that only one of them has to be a musician, who are you going to invite to that table? And the DeLorean allows you to go back in time and pick them up.
Well,
I see. Okay, gotcha.
I'm gonna get Johnny Cash. That's who I'm going with. How about you? Who's going to be at the table because of you?
Man, that's a good one right there. Johnny Cash. Man, that's a.
Whew, it can only be one.
Yeah.
All right, Pete.
You keep.
Let Jason think about it. Who would you?
Well, I tell you what. There's my great grandfather. His name was Lewis. He was a fiddle player, and he played all over the area. In where my dad grew up, and he died a year before I was born. So that would be someone who, there was a musical background in our family. He sort of was one of the starters, playing his violin on those Saturday night parties back in probably the 40s, and that would be somebody I would be interested to hear from.
I'd have to say somebody in my family too. My uncle Rudy gave me all of my equipment when I first started back in the 70s, and I'd like to have him back and tell his stories, all the big Italian family we had.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think Leland Sklar would be a fun one to sit down with.
But he's still alive.
Yeah.
You have to be dead?
Well, he didn't have to be dead.
I mean, Leland's had a birthday. I know he's doing okay.
Yeah. He'd be fun.
He'd be fun.
Cool. So I forgot to mention at the top of the show the two tracks that everybody heard already. So the very first song that I played was I Die Alone by Parabellum. They are a mostly veteran band. So I felt it was fitting since it's Memorial Day and we're celebrating the veterans who gave all to our country and didn't come back, to have a veteran oriented band start things off. And then we listened to Overload in Stereo and their song Dust and the Ashes, which they actually just submitted to me today. Right. Played it and I was like, we're playing this.
Cool.
All right. So one more question in this segment. Can you pinpoint the moment that you knew that you wanted to be a musician?
Oh man. I can. In my grandmother's house, there was an old 12-string silver tone guitar. Once I discovered it was in a closet, every time I went over there, I had to drag it out. I was probably 9, 10 years old. That's my moment.
I don't know. For me, I remember having a person's wedding that I knew, and they had brought in a band from New York, and I think I was 12 years old, and they had a huge PA system, and I just listened to the guy playing. The guy who played bass was a fantastic bass player. So here's this wedding band, and I'm hearing these awesome, bass lines that this guy's putting down, and I think at that moment I said, I just love that low end, and from that time on, that was the instrument I wanted to play. I didn't want to play anything else. That was the instrument.
I'd have to say in 1974.
Oh, you're dating yourself, Joe.
Sorry.
Well, you didn't say how old he was in 1974. You just said 1974.
All right. I was when I first heard my.
He was 3.
I put my first Deep Purple album on my.
That's pretty heavy for a
turntable, and I heard John Lord on his B3 just grinding away on that organ.
I'd say my brother locked me in the room when I was not quite 8 years old, needed a rhythm guitar player for his band. He was 7 years older than me, and I never stopped thanking him for that. Pretty much the whole summer with the Learn to Play Guitar with the Ventures record. So I knew it then.
Very cool. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to hear Miss Freddie's Freight Train Blues, and we're going to hear Lone Crow Rebellion Sneaking Out. And then we're going to talk about that track when we come back. All right.
Music from the 412 is proud to feature local Pittsburgh musicians on our 24-hour radio station. Tune in online or stream to your smart device to listen to the latest songs from some of the best bands in the burg. You can even submit your own original tracks online. Join us in supporting our local music scene. Tune in today to Music from the 412, Pittsburgh's home for original music. It's almost time for the annual Fostering Music Summer Shindig. Fostering Music is a charitable organization dedicated to enriching the lives of children currently in or adopted out of the foster care system. We proudly partner with local foster care agencies to provide musical instruments and instruction in conjunction with local music stores. This year's Summer Shindig fundraising event features 2 days of local music and outdoor family fun. Come out and make a difference while having a blast. Catch the Pennsylvania Rock Show live Mondays on Music from the 412. Join host Bill Damiano for music and exclusive interviews with the best unsigned bands Pennsylvania has to offer. Featuring the best variety of rock and metal with new shows every week. Plus, you can catch replays every Saturday morning and stream us on the radio. Want to get your band featured in an upcoming episode? Visit Build the Scene online for submissions and additional information.
Hey, we're back with Lone Crow Rebellion, episode number 673 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show, and we just heard their track, Sneaking Out. Right before that, we heard Miss Freddie and her track, Freight Train Blues. But this is like, sometimes when I phrase this question this way, the people I'm talking to are younger than me and have no idea what I'm talking about. But this is your MTV moment. You get to do a storyteller's version of how this song came to be or something that happened while you were recording it. Just tell me a story.
Oh, I don't know what to even say. It was just a whimsical song about the typical topic that comes up in blues music, which is cheating. Come up with a cool riff. Was working it out. The words just seemed to come. Couple different changes worked out in there. I don't even know where it went from there.
Well, I think with a lot of the songs that we have, Greg will come up with a sort of a guitar rhythm, simple rhythm, basically a skeleton, and then he'll have those vocals. And then what happens, we get together, we start playing, and then we practice this together for a long time. And as we're practicing, slight adjustments are made and all those things. And so it's just at practice where we start to refine the song so that it becomes a little bit more each and every week. And then after a while, then it's like, okay, hey, this song's ready to record. Let's lay the tracks down.
Yeah, the pinnacle, I think we had an aha moment with that Ascension right before the guitar solo that I think really made the song stand out. I think that just came out in practice.
Yeah, it did.
It's just something. Hey, we need something else there. Let's try this. Hey, what the heck? And there it went.
So, being a blues band, this next question, it's like I have to ask it, and I ask it a lot, but I always ask it with blues bands. So you're now standing at the crossroads where Robert Johnson supposedly sold his soul to the devil, and you're waiting for the devil to appear. Why are you there?
Oh boy. Well, Robert Johnson went there supposedly to become a better guitar player. I say I just took a wrong turn on 49 and ended up there. That's all I can come up with. It was either 49 or 61. I don't know how I got there. Why are you standing there?
I have no idea what I'm saying. I was following you.
He was following me. That's the problem. We got there. There's a big guitar on the corner. It says 49 to 60. That's how we got there. Unless, I don't know. He's pretty seedy. He might have something.
All right. I'll reword it. So what's something that you have not achieved yet as a band that you guys are reaching for?
We're not just a blues band. We're a blues rock band, but we're also really seated in roots and Americana and stuff like that. So we're reaching towards that kind of stuff a little bit right now. We're just, I guess the world's our oyster yet. We're willing to try anything and take anything on and go play for some people and make some people happy. So as long as that bus is rolling, we're not failing and we'll keep trying.
I'm the new guy in the band, just recently joined them, and I'm really excited about it is a blues band and some Americana, but the variants in the last couple songs recorded really departures that show the breadth and the talent, both songwriting and pulling off the songs. They're really, really good songs.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just like to say I didn't pay him to say that.
No.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet. But now I'm in debt.
We have some new songs coming out.
Yeah.
That are
There
different from what we've been doing over the last 2
As a
years.
matter of fact, here's a shameless plug. We got a song called Cruise coming out this Thursday, June 1st. It's a complete departure.
Yes.
Not really, but I mean, it's a blues tune, but it's definitely got a Southwest or a Spanish feel to it. So, I mean, it really takes a step outside of the 12-bar blues.
Yeah.
And I think just, even having an opportunity to play live, in front of people, live music makes people happy. There was a study one time I think they did that said, you know what, when you go to a concert, maybe it's one of your favorite bands or something that you see, that you have sort of a heightened feeling of, just sort of satisfaction and happiness for a couple of weeks after that concert. Me and Greg just went and saw Steve Morse down at the Oaks Theater here last Friday. And you just walk away with a good feeling. And so, for me, it's like, hey, if we can give that good feeling to some folks who are coming to see our music, and then they feel good when they go home, that's why we play music, and to make people feel good. And, people need it right now.
Yep. Yeah. That's what we're looking to achieve.
So one of you mentioned keeping the bus rolling, and that segues into a question, so I'm going to roll with it.
Uh-oh. That's cool.
So you guys go out on a tour, and for some reason, you decide to hire me to drive your tour bus. What music am I going to play in between tour stops?
Oh, man. That is rough. I like so. I mean, I'd have to lend you my record collection for a week, and you could just build a playlist that way. It would be everything from. I like Steve Winwood. I'm big with Spencer Davis Group to Johnny Cash to some good old rock and roll like Boston. So that's my part. How about you?
Oh, like I said, John Hyatt comes to mind.
That's
Delbert
up the lane,
McClinton.
yeah.
Pretty wide variety, not just blues. Americana, like the Jayhawks and Wilco.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
I'd have to have you put on King, band from the UK. That are, I think they're going to be coming up here pretty soon. They're really hitting it.
They're growing big. Yeah.
And I'm sort of the weird. I'm like the prog rock guy. I mean, so if we would be listening to Kansas, Rush, Porcupine Tree. There's a band out of Poland called Riverside. Yeah, that's a progressive rock band. I always like that kind of stuff. So I'd ask you to play that.
So you wouldn't get bored.
I mean, if you've listened to any of the stuff I'm involved in, we're all over the place anyway.
Oh yeah,
even though it says rock in the title of this show, I still play other things.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, you're playing stuff. Yeah, you're playing local stuff too. There's a lot of different styles and
it's nice to have a place like that where some of the locals, can be heard.
Yeah,
because you're not going to hear it on the major markets. So.
Hey, you find out we all fit together.
The cool thing about Music from the 412 is the owner, Rocky Lamondi, is in a band as well. He's in the Borstal Boys. He's in Super Monkey. And he kind of grew tired of there not being an outlet. And that's where Music from 412 came from. My end of things, Build a Scene, started all the way back in 2004 under another name. But I was working with local bands, making websites. And I was like, how can I help them? And I kind of accidentally started this show, but I'm not going to tell that story again. But yeah, it's it's a lot of fun. I get to hear a lot of really cool music, and when I do the interviews like this, most of the questions I've asked you guys on a terrestrial radio station, they would have said to you who your influence is. I got a lot of influences from you, and wasn't bland about it. So Kiss once played in a bay to great white sharks, and Metallica played in a bubble in Antarctica. What is a non-standard venue that you guys would like to play at?
I'd like to go back to the bus topic myself. Let's just rock a bus going down the interstate. I mean, not the tour bus, like an actual bus, like, take seats out, put a little stage in the back, and just have a little 30-person concert going down the interstate. How's that? That'd be fun.
I like that. That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Who's buying the bus?
Who's driving, Bill?
Who's driving? Bill. Bill drive the bus.
I guess I really need to go get my CDL. My dad has one. Maybe he'll drive it.
He has a CDL or a bus?
CDL.
Oh, okay.
Well, you can come.
Yeah.
If you had a chance to ask your musical idol one question, who would you be speaking with, and what would you ask them?
Wow. See, these are deep questions. I'm going to let Jason go first.
I would ask Levon Helm how he wound up with 4 Canadians when he came from Louisiana.
That's a pretty good question. Yeah. How about you, Pete?
Well, probably the guy that I learned the most songs from was Dave Hope from Kansas. I remember my brother got I think it was Audio Visions in the the buy 12 for a penny when you were kids growing up, to these record clubs. Mm-hmm. And I started learning that album, and then I started going into their previous their back catalog, listening to their whole one. And Dave Hope was always there, and he always had interesting bass lines. And then just to see how he went from this in the middle of nowhere sort of band in the middle of the country here, and then to become this this huge worldwide success, and what it did to those country boys, because that's what they were, and to see how it affected them and how it changed them.
That's cool. I'd ask Stevie Ray Vaughan why he decided to put construction cable on his Stratocaster instead of a set of nines like everybody else. I mean, why you want to work that hard? So, what do you got, John?
I just want to know why Reese Winans was never allowed to play with the Allman Brothers.
Well, you can't go ask Reese. You got to go ask Greg Allman that.
Oh, Greg Allman. Yeah.
So,
he didn't want. He had 2 drummers. He had 2 bass players, but he didn't want 2 keyboard players. So,
yeah.
But Reese made a good living out of what he was doing with Stevie Ray, and then
Bonamassa now.
With Joe Bonamassa. But that does session work for most of just about anybody out of Nashville right now.
Okay, so we're going to take another quick break. What you're going to hear next is ZMW Whatever, which is a blues rock band. This album came out in, I think, 1994. It was the first local album that I ever owned. So a little bit of history there. And the bass player went to school with my dad. Wow. And so we're going to hear Whatever by them. And we're also going to hear The Drinking Song by Sundown. And when I come back, the first thing I'm going to do is give away tickets to the Chip and the Charge Ups CD release this coming Saturday. So let's go with that.
We're still on. Yeah.
Rock for Life is proud to announce the beneficiary of this year's concert series, our 2023 rock star Scarlett. Scarlett was diagnosed with leukemia in January of 2020. She's currently fighting her second battle with leukemia and attends regular chemotherapy. Rock for Life aims to provide financial support for Scarlett and her family, with funds raised from our music festivals and concerts. Come out to a Rock for Life show near you. A great time for a great cause. Hey, I'm back without Lone Crow Rebellion for just a moment. I do have 2 tickets to give away to Chip and the Charge Ups album release this Saturday at Hard Rock Cafe in Pittsburgh. I only had one person sign up, and that person was Jill Rumpler. So Jill won the tickets, and they will be headed her way. We have all kinds of awesome free tickets coming up. If you've been paying attention, I've been posting about them like all weekend. But to find them, all you have to do is go to Music from the 412 and click musicfrom412.com and click on contests. And if my computer would cooperate, there we go. I'm going to share those for you guys here in just a moment. Possibly. Let me try this. And here we go. So those tickets that we have the Pat Travers Band coming up. We have Faster Pussycat, Jason Charles Miller, Royal Honey and the Cheats, both local Pittsburgh bands. We have Pat Metheny. We have the Live Loud Tour featuring Cinderella's Tom Kiefer with Winger and John Corabi. We have the Glam Slam Metal Tour with Enough's Enough. They're presenting the Beatles Rock Show, the Choir Boys, Bad Marriage, Royal Honey, Faith by Order. Then we have Andrew Dice Clay. Not really a concert, but I'm sure people are going to take a chance at those. We have the Reverend Horton Heat with the Delta Bombers. We're going to be giving away 2 sets of 1-day tickets to the Four Chord Festival, which is held at the Washington Wild Things Stadium in Washington. And we also have 2 tickets to the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus
with Guest, Kingdom Collapse, and 3. So that's what's going on with the tickets. Jill, make sure you keep an eye on your email because those tickets will be arriving via email. All right, now Lone Crow Rebellion is back with me. I think, yep, they're unmuted. Lots of tickets always being updated. And sometimes I pick them, sometimes Rocky picks them. That one's a mix of us picking. But it's really easy. You just go to the website, you click on the concert you want to go to, you click the share button, tag Drusky Entertainment, tag music from the 412, and then send us your email. And the email, the only thing we use the email for is to send you the tickets if you win. We don't save it at all. And we don't use it to send you anything but the tickets. Hey, with that said, welcome back. Hey, so we have one more segment with Lone Crow Rebellion. I've gotten some information out of them that you probably, even if you're familiar with the band, didn't know. Let's see. What's an embarrassing moment that's happened to you on stage?
I don't know, but I can tell you that Jason left his water bottle up on Mike's riser for the entire Davey Knowles show. And I looked up and said, that looks familiar.
Yeah, we opened for Davey Knowles and I left it there. And after the show, I went up and got it, and he was kind enough to sign it for me. I'll never wash it.
Because Mike's a great guy.
I think with everything, the most embarrassing thing you can do is, like, Greg's our lead singer, but John sings probably half a dozen songs, and I'll sing a half a dozen. And I am always terrified of forgetting a lyric, or whatever. And so that, it's just one of those things. Please let me remember this. Please let me remember this, because that to me would be one of the, the embarrassing things. Most people would never know, you can sort of hum along till you get it. But I just think that for me is the most embarrassing thing if you forget the lyrics for your song.
He just hasn't learned that craft of going, all right, let's hear you guys, Yeah, that's how it works,
Hand him the mic.
Hand him the mic, But, you got anything, John?
Oh, yeah, something just happened the last time we played at the newest venue in town, the Angry Goat. We had a single release party, and I went to the bathroom before we got on stage, and I forgot to pull my zipper up.
You know what? I had a night like
past
that.
Everybody, and I got up on stage and sat down, and I thought, oh my God. And there was a door off to the stage, off the stage over here, and I was just like, I gotta go. I didn't even know where the door went. I ran in the door, and here it was like the kitchen. There's all kind of utensils in there. There's guys. I just turned in the corner and pulled my zipper up and ran back out on the stage. I thought, oh my God!
And trust me, nobody would tell him.
I've been doing this.
I played a set one night with my fly down, and no one said a word to me about it.
For 47 years, it just happens. Whatever.
He never gets embarrassed about anything. So we're not even going to talk about that.
What's coming up next for you guys? What do you have in the plans?
A bunch of new music coming at you real soon. Pretty much, as I said, Cruise is coming out June 1st. I would say the title track to our new album, Coltrane Blues, is coming out probably around July 1st. Another single after that a month later. And then I would say we could say late September, early October, have a full album release coming. We have lots of shows outdoors up around our area here.
Yeah, but we got one down in their area, or sort of close, with the Mammoth.
We'll be at
Arts
Mammoth
Festival
Park
on June 4th.
Yeah,
that's Greensburg, isn't it?
Yeah,
general area,
like Greensburg, Latrobe, somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere down there.
Mount Pleasant is their address.
Yeah,
it's actually a little town called Mammoth, just outside of Mount
I'd
Pleasant.
say it's not too far east of Connellsville.
Yeah,
somewhere down there.
Yeah.
So we will be down that way. So come on out, and they have a big slide in the park, which I can't wait to go down.
So it's It's a stainless steel.
It may be a reason to buy a wireless guitar rig.
It's like,
Just
like 300 feet long.
So the next time I can be like, I heard that.
I heard, yeah. And I'll have something to say that was totally embarrassing.
So I pop up on the screen a couple of times so far, and it's below us right now, lonecrowmusic.com. But where else can people find you guys?
Oh, we're on Facebook, Instagram,
music's on
Twitter,
YouTube, Spotify.
Yeah. We're on all the major streaming platforms: YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, which I never knew existed till we started releasing music, which is pretty awesome. That's a cool name. But you can find us all those places. So one thing you might want to check out the website for is jump on and get on our mailing list with the new songs coming out. We hope to give away some freebies. That's a good way to find those. Any place else you can think of?
No, I think you covered the bases pretty well there, Greg.
All right, thank you.
So how, and like I'm asking you that's the end of the interview, but how did you guys end up together?
Well, it's so funny. Everything's backwards. Pete and I have been playing together for. That's actually kind of a funny story.
That is a good story.
That's a good story.
Yeah, that is a good story.
Pete and I were competing for a job at a job interview and didn't know each other from Adam. And I got the job. He didn't, but he knew the people at the place. And he came in one day wearing a Fender T-shirt. And I said, "Oh, hey, you play?" And we started playing together. Yeah. So that was that. I've known John since, well, I was probably that big.
Yeah, forever.
And Jason's just a legend. I mean, he's the legend of Central Pennsylvania. I mean, this guy's a machine. So he just had an opportunity to join us and come in on some of these new songs and really bring a breath of fresh air and some light to them. I think the audience should be very impressed with it. And that's how we met.
And it's a privilege to play with these guys. Seriously, it really is.
Yeah. So yeah, me and Greg, that was back in 2000 when we sort of first met, and so it's been 20-some years, and it's just it's a friendship, and when you have music, that just makes it better.
What is a song? I haven't asked this in a long time. What is a song that you didn't write that you wish you had written?
Oh, man. John, you're on the. This is right up your alley. You can answer.
I'm drawing a blank. Jeez.
A song that I wish I wrote. I can guarantee you none of them would be serious. It'd be something like Cocaine Blues from Johnny Cash.
You know what? I know one.
You got one?
That my dad loved this song. It was Leonard Skinner, the Ballad of Curtis Lowe.
Curtis Lowe, that's a good one.
That is such a great song. It's such a great story.
And they didn't even write that.
And to me, that would have been a song that I would have loved to have been part of writing.
That reminds me, I need to text Doug Carnahan from After the Fall. He plays acoustic shows, and I told him he was supposed to learn that song for this summer, and I bet he hasn't yet.
I'm trying to protect us from being cat bombed. The cat just walked in the studio. So.
I saw a meme the other day that said how to Zoom with a cat, and the cat was duct taped to the wall.
Yeah.
The only way.
They have a knack of getting up on the keyboard.
Is there anything that we haven't covered that you guys want to get out there in the last 2 minutes?
Oh man, just call us. We would love to come entertain you. If you got something, look us up on lonecrowmusic.com. Send us an email, send us a message. The email is lcrmusicrocks@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out with your needs, and we'll see if we can hook up with you. Yeah. Take a chance, to listen to some of the new stuff that's coming out. Follow us on social media. Not just for ourselves, but we've been preaching all along that for all the musicians out there, man, you can do 3 things that cost absolutely nothing to help them out. And that's follow them on social media, share their posts, like and follow them, do the same thing with their music on Spotify or whatever, and get on YouTube and subscribe to their channel. I mean, do that for all of us. We really appreciate it.
There's a lot of theaters in Western Pennsylvania. I was so surprised how many they're restoring. And, there's one in Franklin, Oil City, Grove City, and of course Pittsburgh, Oaks Theater, and the Palace and
Greensburg.
Greensburg. We'd love to play some of those places. And
I just did photos at one maybe 2 months ago in Indiana with Black Ridge.
Black Ridge and the Juke House Bombers.
Yes,
those are our brothers. We love those guys.
We're buddies with those guys.
But hey, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight.
Sure, we love being here.
Appreciate you, Bill.
And when that new music is ready, make sure you send it to Build a Scene and to Music from 412. And if you make a video, send that to Music from 412 as well.
All right, sounds great.
All right, so what we're going to do next is we're going to play 2 more songs. It's Royce Fire and Silk 9 Tear Me Down. I'm also going to play the concert calendar for those of you watching the video, and then we're going to watch some videos on Music from 412. My name is Bill. This has been episode number 373, and I will see you next week. And my cursor got lost on my screen. Here we go. 412 with your concert calendar for May 26th through June 4th, brought to you by BuildTheScene.com and FirstAngelMedia.com. Friday, May 26th at 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. We have Foo Bar with Rockstead and Cloud9 Vibes at Subalpine and Turtle Creek for $10. Saturday, May 27th, 8 p.m. Sweat's album release show with special guest Stupid Head, Outside Inside, and DJ Hot Wheels at Spirit Pittsburgh. At 8:30 p.m., Ugly Kid Joe with Pistols at Dawn at Jurgles Rhythm Grill in Warrendale. Sunday, May 28th, 1 p.m. at the Brian T. Rusnock Amphitheater at Twin Lakes Park in Greensburg. It's The Life of Brian, The Shiners, and East Coast Turnaround. 2 p.m. until 6 p.m., PBI. Jam Sundays with your host Black Market Honey, with an open mic to follow at Steamworks Creative in Gibsonia. Monday at 9 p.m., Lone Crow Rebellion will be interviewed by me on the Pennsylvania Rock Show live on music from the 412.com. Friday, June 2nd is Bandcamp Friday. Make sure to head to bandcamp.com to support your favorite unsigned and independent bands on a day where an average of 93% of your money reaches the artist. 7:30 p.m. until 11 p.m. Meadow at Morgantown Art Party with Modern Fossils and more. $10 to get you in. Saturday, June 3rd, 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Derek Woods Band, Black Ridge, The Clarks, and more at Lorraine Stony Creek Hiking Trails. At 8 p.m., it's Chip and the Charge Ups with their album release. Under 21 is permissible with the parent or guardian. This is at the Hard Rock Cafe in Pittsburgh. Sunday, June 4th, 11:30 a.m. until 8 p.m. It's Rockin' Roosevelt at Roosevelt Park. It benefits Roosevelt Park. That's in Arnold, Pennsylvania. It's $5 to get in. It features Risen to Save, Sunday Complex, Up the River Band, Noble Hops, Miss Freddie's Blues Band, The Rust Project, Felon, Low Life Drifters, Curtis and the Shakers, Big House Pete, and Elias Corey. We have some upcoming ticket giveaways to mention. Thanks to Dressing Entertainment. Go to musicfrom412.com/contest for more information. We have 2 tickets for Ugly Kid Joe with Pistols at Dawn at Jurgles Rhythm Grill on Saturday, May 27th. We have 2 more for the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus with special guests Kingdom Collapse and 3 on September 7th at the Craft House Stage and Grill. We are also going to be hanging out with you at some upcoming music festivals. Those include June 16th and 17th at the Summer Shindig at Paradise Park in Collinsville, Pennsylvania. June 24th at the PA Band Initiative Music Festival at the Beacon Hotel in Renfrew, Pennsylvania. July 15th at Notes for Hope Music and Food Festival at Hyde Park Pavilion. That is a Pink Day benefit. July 21st and 22nd at Rock for Life Paradise Park in Collinsville, Pennsylvania. August 25th at Rock for Life at the Syria Shriners in Cheswick, Pennsylvania. September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at JB's Roadhouse for another Rock for Life show in Curtisville, Pennsylvania. October 14th, Rock for Life Rocktoberfest at Syria Shriners in Cheswick, PA. That's all I have for you this week. Don't forget to go to musicfromthe412.com/submissions to send us your gigs, your videos, your music. And don't forget to check me out live on musicfromthe412.com Monday nights at 9 p.m. on the Pennsylvania Rock Show. You can check us out at musicfromthe412.com/radio if you would like to listen to us on our app to and from work or whenever you'd like. So it's musicfromthe412.com and the Music from the 412 app available on Google and